Did it work?
I think it works.
Yay! Hey, GB, PB, and J, Pamela, Jessica, Sherry, my bestie. How is everyone today?
I don't know about you, but I got a very late start.
I got a late start too. We were up late last night figuring out, we were thinking of a master plan. I think I'm gonna have to play that song, somehow get like the beat to where it's not copyright. Started off with thinking of a master plan. While we're waiting for a couple of people to come in, let's go and show everyone where we're moving. We're all moving here, guys. We did a lot of digging last night. Hi, Seashore Girl. Hello, Sassafras Cat. A lot of digging last night, trying to figure out the owners of these apartments in the Hope building.
Yeah, we ended the live and then talked on the phone for like another 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, we were definitely digging. So Kaz definitely came up with a master plan. But on we're not talking about Heidi, but we just want to talk about this real quick because it's just interesting. So, gosh, when I tell you guys what Kaz said, I couldn't breathe for like 35, 40 minutes last night. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, this building. So this is the penthouse. One side has 40 floors, and the other side, what was it, 32 or 36? The
Ooh,
flower.
I don't want to get that one wrong.
Okay, so the building on the left is the Hope. And there's 2 units, 3 units up top, right?
Yeah, 3.
Okay. So this is the one that's available for rent. So we thought, how they kept talking about they found evidence on the 40th floor, which is still not confirmed by, you know, the police, but this place is renting for $23,000 a month. $23,000 a month.
That's a bargain.
Hello, Pamela. 20. I mean, who on God's name pays $23,000 a month?
Did you tell him the square feet?
Actually, this one's pretty big. This is a 3 bedroom, 3 bath. And you notice how it still says 1 day ago? I think he just keeps it like that. No, what is it? 4,000 square feet?
I don't remember that one.
3,367?
I know one of them we were looking at was like a little matchbox.
Well, the 1 bedroom is like 600 square feet, but this is the empty one on the 40th floor. So, we have decided that there's actually a lot of places for rent in this building, the Hope building. So, we've decided, hi, Kara, that Kaz told us last night that we're going to call the man that does the leasing for this apartment, and she's going to act like she's very wealthy lady from Australia. And then she told them that she's going to tell them that her name is Melissa Caddick and I'm her LA lawyer to take care of the business. And then tell her Kaz said she was going to put her foot up. What did she say about that?
Yeah, she said I
Uh,
need a good place to put my foot up in the evenings.
you guys get the foot up joke, right? Remember Melissa Caddick's foot was found in her shoe on the beach? Kaz said she needs to put her foot up and then she wants to know which way the windows are facing. So we're going to call Aaron Gill and see if we can set up an appointment to have a tour of the building. Okay, one more thing before we get into Cleo, which we want to show you, is a lady that lives in the building decided to talk about the parking situation. I mean, would you really pay $23,000 a month and then you have to pay 200 extra just to park your car?
I mean, I think I'd want a little more freedom than what she speaks about if I was paying that, but okay.
Okay, so she lives in the building and she says, I've been somewhat following this discussion and wanted to add a few things. One, the parking garage needs a remote to get in it, and all spaces are assigned. We pay 200 a month for parking and more if you want valet. Guests have to park in a public lot across the street for $20 a night. Now that would make sense as far as if Heidi parked her car there, but they said that she was parked a couple blocks away in a residential parking lot, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I heard underground.
I heard that too. So, two, we have to keep a list of approved guests at the concierge desk. And even then, we have to come down to the lobby to escort our guests upstairs.
Very interesting.
Three, nobody can get into the elevator and come upstairs unless they have a resident key fob to swipe for your particular floor. So I guess that when you get your key to what floor you live on, you can only go to that floor. It's almost like an expensive prison. Four, my car got damaged in the garage, so I asked for the footage from the surveillance cameras. I was told this request had to go through their legal department and to have my attorney or detective handling my case contact their legal department. Now, we did hear that from the husband when they were trying to get the footage. They said not without a warrant.
Correct.
Um, um,
My God, girl.
does everything in their power to make it difficult for everyone involved. If I order food, they don't allow my delivery drivers to bring it to your door. We have to come down and get it from the concierge desk. Same thing with packages. They are supposed to accept them, log them, and keep them at the concierge desk. Yet I've had countless packages go missing even after the delivery company has received a signature from the concierge. These were big value items. I don't know anyone that is going to be resigning their lease. I don't know much about this case, but I can assure you she didn't park in the garage, walk in, get in an elevator, and get off at the 28th floor. It's impossible for someone who doesn't live here and have the garage opener, an assigned spot, and a key fob for the 28th floor.
Well, hmm.
Yeah, the 40th floor, Jessica, is a penthouse. And in that penthouse, it has um, three units.
It's not impossible. I mean, say she was with someone, she met them outside the building and walked in together. But that's where those lobby cameras are going to come into play.
Oh, those lobby cameras are definitely going to come into play, and they have those cameras of them going in that building.
That'd be pretty stupid to take her into a building where they know what floor you're on based on where you get off because of your fob. That's the only floor you can go to. That is so dumb. They're gonna get this person.
Oh, they're going to get this person. I mean, that's just insane. But was it on the 40th floor? They're claiming that it's in an apartment, and then after doing all of that searching, we saw that the only apartment available on that 40th floor is that penthouse, the one that had the pool, the 15-foot pool. I'm looking for it, but I can't. Features, amenities, floor. I think it's the floor plan. Yeah, there it is. And then let's do this, and then we'll get into Cleo. Because it's the question I've been asking. How did they get her out of that tent with nobody making a sound? So here's the hope. And if you click on this penthouse 40th floor, because if you look over here, it only goes to the 32nd floor, the flower. And they're definitely connected through the drive through between wherever they drive through. But if we click here and we get up on this 40th floor to the penthouse, and then here's the floor plans. So this is the one, right? That's available now.
I think that was right.
Available. This is the one. So they're saying that it's building number 4,000. That actually might be the number. 4,000 is the residence. So then if we look at the floor plan, it's 2,753 square feet. Guys, remember, it's 23,000 a month. And that right there, I think, is the pool. And that's the only one that is open on the 40th floor from P1, PH1, PH2, and PH3. And that's it. It's just a big open floor plan. I think we should just all go there and squat. What are your thoughts on that?
There's
40th floor.
pretty good. I think if it's in that empty building, we need to really deep dive into this, like the owners of the building.
Yeah, that's the next step. That's why we need to talk to the agent. We'll call him later today when Kaz is up so we can pull the Melissa Caddick off. Hello, Benton.
My only fear is that they might know who Melissa is, and then you get some sort of weird FBI tip and they show up at your door.
Oh, that's going to be
Where's
hilarious.
Melissa?
I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
Oh, I'd laugh.
All right. What we came here for. A little update on Cleo Smith. Oh, look at her little face. Episode 5, the second interview, the tent, and a night at the Blowholes. If we ever make it to Australia, girl, we're definitely going camping at the Blowholes.
1,000,000%.
All right, let me jump into chat for a second. I have a feeling Kaz is going to wake up soon. Kara, last night I totally slipped my mind about you coming up, but you can come up whenever you want to talk about something. It totally slipped my mind last night. Hey, Benson, what's going on?
They did find Michaela, yes.
Oh, you weren't here last night. Yeah, you'll have to watch last night's live. That's a whole... that's a deep situation right there. That poor girl, I pray she gets the help that she needs. I mean, I know this sounds rude, but I think we have swept the Michaela case underneath the good old crime rug.
I think that's how her PI kind of worded it as well.
Yeah. Hopefully she's not pregnant. I mean, I know she might still want to be, but I really hope for her mental sake, and I just hope that she gets the help that she needs. Oh, she was partying with the NBA players, Benson. She was hanging out with a guy named Moneybags Yo, the rapper.
Alfonso McKinney, the NBA player.
She was hanging out with Alfonso, 4th year into the LA Lakers, and she just wanted to have a baby. She wanted to get pregnant with a black man's baby that was either a rapper or an NBA player. I mean, and she
with mental health issues. It's just a lot.
Yeah, but the sad part is, as beautiful as she was, and she totally could have had anything she wanted, but she just went about it in a way because unfortunately she's not
Yes, Benton, pretty much.
Yes, Benton. And then they kicked her to the curb after the PA got a hold of them to let them know that he knew that she was around them. And then they found her sleeping in her car in the Walmart. Yep, another Morgan Sessions. Money bags, yo. Sassafras cat. Maybe I'll end it today on a Money Bag Yo song. See what he's about. Oh, I spoke to a hummingbird today. I don't know if she's listening, but if she is, I hope she puts like an emoji in the room. But she wanted me to tell everyone hello. But she's with her babies, and I think she was actually out playing with fake lawnmowers today. I think they
Good
were
job turning down that free TV, Kara. We
yeah,
don't need to
free.
cover you next, okay? We like you in the chat in the panel. That's great. We don't need to cover you.
Wait, what did Kara say?
Some guy tried to get her to approach his car for a TV, and when she told him no, he drove off. There was a Jason mask on the back window.
uh, aw. Hummingbird, yo, heifer, are you lurking? Hummingbird, there's a cleanup on aisle 4. Hummingbird, cleanup on aisle 4. She's probably laughing. She wants to say something. I remember one time a long time ago a story of my mom told me of these two little neighbor girls that walked to the corner to like a McDonald's or something. And this man literally pulled up in his car and he was completely naked trying to ask these little like third and fourth graders like asking them for directions. Those kids never ran so fast in their life. There's sick people in the world. They were probably trying to kidnap you, Kara.
Seems to be all the rage these days, kidnapping.
Look at that face.
She's still my screensaver.
Aw. Well, I'm guessing now that there's definitely not another woman involved, considering you would have thought that they would have figured that out by now. You'll have to tell us about that in Discord. That is weird. But I want to know why they're not talking about Heidi yesterday or today concerning the search for her. Like, I mean, do you think that maybe they already found her? Like the car, how they kept the car
Mm,
secret?
interesting.
Because like there's not even anybody out there. And those dates on that text message, guys, those dates were not there. I don't have iMessage, but I'm probably going to assume that a date would be attached if it's a different date to the message.
I want to get in touch with Boots again because I think she was going to go out there in person, and I wonder if she's seen anything out there.
Okay, well, I'll send you her email because Mo emailed me. Hello, Cry Mary. Yeah, Mo emailed me, so I'll send you her email. But yeah, they were going to go out there too. But you don't just find it weird that there's just nothing on her since the day before yesterday when they were searching the landfill.
Keeping it very, very close to the vest. And I just feel like
But
they're trying to keep somebody
they
from running.
they can't keep it that close. There would be helicopters, news people out there, drones flying. You would see something. There's nothing. So that tells me that either they paused the search for a couple of days or they have found her and they're not saying anything yet. They found the car on October 4th. We didn't know that till 2 days ago.
It's very strange. But
I
what
mean,
would the reason for not exposing that they would have found her?
hello, Michelle Mouse. Yeah, we're very close to the owner of that penthouse, but they're just really trying to hide who that owner is. It's definitely not Ani. We were digging into them like they're just a they design and build buildings that they run. They're out of Canada. Hi, Kelly Bird. All right, let's get into Cleo. And we need to do the. I need to remind the Facebook meeting tonight. We're gonna make a change. Okay, I gotta stop thinking I can sing. Okay. So we all wondered, right? Gosh, how in the world did that man, the doll collector, take her out of her tent? Like to this day, it still bothers me. It's one of the one things that I can't wrap my head around. Everything else I can. The dressing up like the grandma, the brushing her hair, the Bratz dolls. Like for some reason, I have finally wrapped my head around all of that. But we could never, or I could never, wrap my head around how did he get her out of that tent with Jake and Ellie both there? And they say here one of the biggest questions on the public's mind as the search for Cleo approached 2 weeks. How did her mom and stepdad not hear the tent being unzipped as they slept right next to the 4-year-old? Well, Kaz says that they put lube on the tents. We'll drop the link, Kara. I think the bot has the Facebook link when that night bot comes up.
Yeah, they drop it every now and then.
Yeah. Hello, Shredder. Or you can type in explanation FAC. See if it works. See which bot shows up. That should pull it up.
No, I'm not.
Or if it might be
Nothing.
FB. Give
Hold
it
on.
one sec. See if it comes up. Guys, low budget, off the beaten path productions.
You should probably do it from the
Try
one.
try explanation FB. It will show up one day. So this is the podcast we're going to listen to, guys. It's 39 minutes and 59 seconds, 40 minutes. But so Jackson was sent up to the Carnivan to cover the search and even spent the night at the Blowholes. Oh, I missed a part. Hang on, guys. Sorry. In episode 5, shedding light on days 11 and 12 of the little girl's disappearance, reporter Jackson Barrett and producer Sandra D. Gorolamo have possible answers. Jackson was sent up to Carnivan to cover the search and even spent the night at the Blowholes, while Sandra produced a heartbreaking second interview with Ellie and Jake. Both spent a significant time at the Blowholes, and both said the wind and sound of the ocean crashing overpowered almost any other sounds around the campsite. So, the rest we know, the whole story, and we're going to listen to the. Oh, there it is. Look at it. The Nightbot heard us. Oh, you got him to show up.
Yeah, I had to use the right account.
Yeah, I think it's explanation FAC. Ooh, who signs your jacket, Shredder? Oh. No, the doll man's due in court, Benton, in like 2 days from now. I think it's December 4th.
That sounds right.
He hasn't pled guilty or not guilty yet. I think this is the one where he's going to have to do the plea. But Cows knows better about the Australian laws and how it works. I would love to see the interrogation. Hi, Grammy H. Shredder, who signed your jacket? Look at her ignoring us.
She's too excited.
I know. I think the parents had some drinks. I think that considering what is the little sister's name?
Um, ooh, Ela.
Ela. Considering she was 7 months, Ellie and Jake were probably having a couple drinks. It's about that time after having a kid when you can kind of just start drinking again, have a little lovey dovey. Cleo Z signed it. She is an amazing music producer from France. Look her up. Oh, that's awesome, Shredder. So let's hear the podcast on little Cleo. And hopefully we'll get more information on Heidi today because my gut's just telling me that maybe they found her.
A desperate search, no sign of the 4-year-old.
I miss you.
We hold great concerns.
Cleo was taken.
18 days of asking, where is Cleo?
What's your name, sweetheart?
My name is Cleo.
After 9 sleepless nights, Ellie and Jake once again sit down in front of a TV camera, revealing the final moments prior to Cleo's disappearance.
I put her to bed. I tucked her in. I made sure her sleeping bag was completely tucked under her mattress. I made sure she was warm. It was going to be quite a windy night. It was overcast.
Welcome everyone, I'm Natalie Bongiolo, and joining us for this episode is producer Sandra Di Girolamo, who navigated that interview for Ellie and Jake. From the UK, senior broadcast journalist at NewsHour at the BBC, Laurence Dubliev. As always, investigative journalist Kristen Shorten is with us, and also reporter in Carnarvon at the time, Jackson Barrett. Sandra, I just wanted to start with you. You flew to Carnarvon for this interview on Channel 7's current affairs show Flashpoint. Given the urgency and how desperate this situation was, were you feeling personally apprehensive?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like everyone else, I think I had felt that terror rip through me days earlier when we'd heard about this little 4-year-old girl missing from her tent. I'd lost sleep thinking about it, wondering what happened to her, who took her. And so on that day, it was early Monday morning flight to Carnarvon, a sea of fluoro at the airport, as there is on a Monday morning. And Tim McMillan and I have worked together for a long time. And so I suppose for us, it was mixed emotions. We hadn't spoken to Ellie and Jake directly at that point, and yeah, we didn't know what to expect.
When you got to Carnarvon and you first laid eyes on them, I mean, did you have an impression of how they were holding up?
Yeah, I think for starters, it's important to know why they were doing this interview. It wasn't something they necessarily wanted to do. They weren't, excited about the prospect of being on TV, of sitting down in front of a camera. They probably wanted to be anywhere else but doing that at that time. And the only reason they were doing this was in case it helped bring Cleo home. They wanted her home. They thought maybe someone would see this interview and come forward. Maybe someone would feel guilty. They wanted to speak directly to whoever had taken her and, beg them to bring her back.
They must have been completely terrified in this situation. Like you said, this is not a situation anyone wants to find themselves in. Were they quite stoic, or did it feel like they were almost completely bewildered?
They were tired. They were tired. They were desperate. That's why they were doing this interview in the first place. I found them to be honest and open and generous and kind and down to earth. And to be honest, completely and utterly terrified.
Did you and Tim have much of an opportunity to chat to them prior to the cameras being there?
Yeah, look, we did. We spoke to them both before and after the interview, and the police were present for all of those conversations and for the interview itself. And I'm not going to repeat what was said in that room before the interview because it was a private conversation and I'd never breached their trust like that. And not because there was anything untoward, but simply because it was a private conversation. And I suppose I'm not here to tell their side of the story. I'm sure that they'll do that themselves one day in a way that they want to, in their own words, in their own way, and we should allow them to do that. But I will say that I found them to be tired was the first thing that struck me. And what's really interesting is when you walk into a situation like that, I walked into the room and to me they were like friends. I knew exactly who they were. I'd watch them on the news every night. I knew their background. I knew their family. I knew what they did for a living. I knew them. And I think we all felt like we knew them, like we knew Cleo. But to them, we were strangers.
Yeah, that's right. And for them to have to open up like that and wear their hearts on their sleeves, but as you said, they are doing it for one reason only. They are hoping that this is going to help bring their daughter back to them. Where did the interview happen?
Well, we met them at the police station beforehand, and the interview was meant to take place at the police station. But as you can appreciate, for us, we've got cameras, lights. It's not a small setup, and there wasn't enough room at the police interview room. And so if you know Carnarvon, anyone who knows Carnarvon knows there's a courthouse just adjacent to that police station. So we asked the people at the courthouse if we could borrow a room. It was a bit bigger than the one at the police station. And as soon as we let the people in charge of the courthouse know what we were doing and why we wanted this room, they were really keen to help. And I mean, that's the thing, is that everyone in their town wanted to do their bit to help. And so for those people at the courthouse that day, their way of helping, I suppose, was helping to provide us with a room where we could film the parents' plea for help. So we set up the cameras. Ellie and Jake and the police liaison officer took their time. They calmed their nerves a bit and walked over to us and joined us in the interview room.
Okay, well, let's have a little bit of a listen to Tim speaking to Ellie and Jake.
I know you absolutely don't want to revisit that night. So about 1:30, she stirs, she's thirsty, and then at about 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, you realise she's not there.
Yeah.
Can you describe what that feels like?
Heartbreaking, heart-wrenching.
Scary.
Completely scary. I mean, how are you meant to feel?
I have to say, even just hearing that back again like that gives me goosebumps. For me, it feels like that was yesterday, and I just got taken back to that room in Carnarvon just now. But in what we do, we meet a lot of people at the very best or the very worst times of their life, right? Like you come into their lives at a really emotional time, good or bad. But for me, this one was personal. It felt real and raw. And I think it's because my little boy is the exact same age as Cleo. And so I remember after that interview when Tim and I were speaking to them. And
thank you for joining, Kim. Welcome to the Nosy Detectives.
I remember saying to Ellie, I think what you just did was really brave. And I meant that. And I gave her a big cuddle and she was crying and I'm crying and Tim's got tears welling up and we said good luck. And I remember distinctly having two thoughts as they left the courthouse that day. And the first was, man, I hope they find her. I really desperately, with everything inside of me, hope they find her. And the second was, I need to go home and hug my children right now. I imagine my 4-year-old taken alone and scared, and it really affected me. And I think I FaceTimed my kids before I even got to the car park that day.
I agree. I mean, when I watched that interview, the thought that came to mind was bravery, because you can't help but put yourself in their situation and think, well, how would I handle that? How would I feel sitting there having to do this appeal to the public for my child that's been missing for, by this stage, 9 or 10 days? The stress that they would be under is unfathomable. To have no idea what's happened to your child. And Ali pretty much says as much to Tim.
No one I know of has been through that. And I would never wish for anyone to wake up and feel that feeling that went through me. I couldn't explain it to you.
Criminologist Xanthi Mallet, she said to us that interviews like this can be absolutely crucial to an investigation. It is about connecting with the public. Is that how you felt, that this was maybe a beacon of hope?
The police use the media as part of their investigative process. And so we knew that day that we had a part to play in this investigation and in getting that message out. And we took that seriously. We wanted to help. Often the media get a really tough rap for some of the things we do, and maybe people over the years who have deserved that criticism. But I think in Cleo's story, we proved the good work media can do. And I can tell you that almost every single reporter and cameraman and producer and photographer that I met covering this truly felt it. This was a family, not so different to yours and mine, and we wanted to help.
Yeah, absolute connection between the media and the family in this one. I just wanted to play another little part of the interview. It sticks in my mind because I think Tim really hits a nerve as to why we're feeling so intimately, I guess, devastated for Cleo's loved ones.
I think a lot of parents have experienced that moment where you lose sight of your child even for a minute. You feel sick. You're overwhelmed with stress. At what point did you hit that level?
Straight away.
Straight away, pretty much.
I mean, who hasn't had that moment? If you have kids, right, Kristen, you will have also had that moment where your child is missing for a moment and you have a heart attack.
Absolutely. And like Sandra was saying, I think the first thing that struck me when watching that interview was how just completely drained and exhausted Ellie and Jake looked. Like they were just running on empty. I think Ellie said in the interview that she couldn't remember the last time she'd slept. So I don't know how they were even functioning at that point after 10 days. But
See, and that's funny she says that. We were all thinking that Jake was acting a little strange, remember?
Oh, I remember.
Go. 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 Kitty, go. You don't want to go? He wants to hang out. Yeah, I was like, why is Jake being so quiet? But, you know, after them hearing the drug deals and Jake owed money and this and that, after all this time, you have to think the dog collector had some ninja skills. And I didn't think he was capable of being a ninja.
It's one of those sides.
I just don't see him creeping in a tent. I mean, he's a big guy. And snatching a kid like that takes a lot of kahunas.
Crazier
A
thing.
lot of kahunas. Knockout spray. But the sleeping bag too, remember, like he totally took her out of the sleeping bag, the whole kit and caboodle. He just grabbed the package and left. And still, hang on, go. And still, they haven't found the sleeping bag. Where is the sleeping bag? Benton said that he would love to see the interview. I would pay money to see the video camera that came out of that room with him dressed up as his mom combing Cleo's hair. I'd probably have nightmares for the rest of my life, but I think I would like to see that video.
Just so you can process it with your own mind.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you just like, it makes me want to go back and watch the movie Psycho when he leaves and then he comes back in the room completely wearing his mother's clothes. That is some creepy shit. Just think about that. Kaz, you're not kidding. He was definitely extremely lucky to get away with abducting Cleo. Yeah, he was. And, you know, and they claim too that he was out there at the Blowholes all day riding around on a four-wheeler. Now, I don't know what kind of four-wheeler that is. In my mind, I see an ATV. Hello, ex-Tina Marie. What video?
We theorized that there was some sort of video camera in that room based on everything the police said after they found her.
Yeah, we figure that since Terrence Kelly had to go to that place where he went there, what, 4 days a week? To
the job search place.
I forget the name of that place. Kaz, what was the name of the place in Carnarvon where Terrence Kelly went? Real something? Real beginnings? Was it real something?
I can't remember. All I remember is the tab where he was when he got arrested.
Yeah, so this man was leaving and he was going to, I think it was called Real something, like Real Beginnings, or I could be wrong. Oh, Real Futures. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that was the name.
I think that's it.
Real Futures. I think I might be right. So he was going to a place called Real Futures 4 times a day where they were actually um I did maybe Xtina thinking maybe Jake was involved a little bit in the beginning, but now I just think this guy worked alone. But he went there for 4 days in a row. So what we came to the conclusion, because Cleo was being locked in and he bought her diapers because there was only one bathroom in the place. So he bought her diapers so while he left her all day, she could just pee in the diaper. Imagine putting a 4-year-old back in a diaper. So we believe that in that doll room collection, with all of those dolls, that he had a camera in that room so he could watch Cleo while he was at the tab gambling or at Real, whatever I said it was called. I forgot already.
Real Futures.
Real Futures, that's it. So we believe there was a camera in there. And then when Cleo said that there was a man brushing her hair, a woman brushing her hair and stuff, and then they said there was no woman, and him losing his grandma, we believe that he was dressing up as his grandma and taking care of Cleo. Because he's just a really strange man, but I definitely put a lot of blame on how his grandma raised him and his bringing up as far as nobody wanting him and his long, black, beautiful, curly hair. All right, let's get into this podcast.
I guess having baby Isla meant that they just had to keep going, and Ellie said, you've just got to keep going. But yeah, look, the look of just devastation and despair was, it was heartbreaking. I think the part of the interview which most impacted me was when Ellie was crying towards the end.
I love you. We miss you. And we want you home.
Just delivering that message directly to Cleo in the hope and chance that Cleo might actually be seeing that interview. Yeah, it was devastating. It was hard to watch.
Sandra, I know people have said as much to you. It was almost difficult to watch.
And it was heartbreaking being in that room. I'm sitting just off to the side and I'm trying to keep my sobbing quiet so you can't hear it on the camera. I'm looking at Tim. I know Tim really well, and Tim's heart is breaking. We all know we are there because we are trying to help, and getting this message out just might. And you've got to remember, at that point, we didn't know how this would end. Our hearts were breaking.
I think Tim did a really great job as well. He was so kind and gentle with them. And I know you could see that he had to ask those hard questions like, Jake, did you have anything to do with Cleo's disappearance? Is there anything you're not telling us? But you could tell it was even hard for him to ask those questions. And you could tell he was trying to be very sensitive and gentle with them while having to ask the questions that a lot of members of the public were wondering.
Exactly. I mean, for Tim McMillan on that day, asking that question at that time was a first. Nobody had asked him that publicly before. And we all knew that there was that speculation. That's what people were talking about. And Tim's a dad. Tim's an avid camper. His heart was breaking for them. But as a reporter, he knew he had to ask that. And as a producer, I encouraged that. And we discussed it prior to the interview and agreed that the only way to ask that was to ask it straight up. And you saw by their answer, they had no issues whatsoever with the question. And I think for them, it was probably the easiest question.
Well, let's play that part and let's have a listen to Tim ask that question.
A lot of people fancy themselves as amateur detectives.
Yep.
And there's always going to be speculation that mum and or dad might be involved and have a case to answer. So I have to ask the question, Jake, is there anything that you're not telling us?
No, nothing.
Anything you haven't told police at this point?
No, nothing.
So you or no one that you know has anything to do with
nothing.
Cleo's disappearance?
No.
And Ellie, I have to ask you the same question.
No way. We love our daughter. Exactly. And we want her home.
After that particular interview, body language expert Alan Peace, who we spoke to in episode 2 after their first interview, he came out again and he said that their body language left him in no doubt that they were telling the truth. And that's what you were saying as well, Sandra.
Yeah, I mean, when I got back from that interview, I had a lot of people asking me what were they like and how was it. But the question I kept getting asked over and over again was, do you think they did it? And I was horrified. Because when I looked at Ellie and Jake, I saw a shattered young couple. Their little girl needed them, and they had no idea where she was.
I so highly disagree with them right there. Jake, you cannot tell me Jake was acting normal in that interview.
Yeah, and then when he called her lazy and stuff out of the very few words that he had to say, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, read the room.
Yeah, and then he was going to the blowholes to teach him how to swim. It was just weird. He was quiet. He was weird. He was looking down. So then after all of that happened, and then they started mentioning, because they worked at the same place, Jake and the dog collector, Terrence Kelly. Well, at one time, I guess, because I guess then he wasn't working because obviously he was going to Real Futures where they teach indigenous people how to hold jobs, get jobs, and all that good stuff. So I'm convinced that there was a camera in one of those doll eyeballs. I'm watching you.
It's crazy, but I believe it. I mean, this whole case is crazy.
Right. If I go over to meet Kaz in Australia and we head over there, I am so going to meet little Cleo. Hello, Jake and Ellie. Can we come over and meet Cleo? We're coming over from United States, and we just want to meet her so bad. She's so cute. Jake, you got a drug debt? I'm only kidding. I think by now you would know this stuff.
I don't see how we wouldn't.
I don't think there was a woman. I don't think there was. He completely pulled a clothes change like that other movie too, where the guy's wearing the woman's clothes. The preview we watched, I forget the name of it now.
Split.
With his 23 personalities or something.
Yeah, the movie's crazy.
All right, let's get back into this podcast. I'm going to try to shut up a little bit. But I don't agree with Jake at the beginning. And then when I was hearing the drug things going on, talking about they owed money and he passed her off to dog collector in the middle of the night, I'm thinking, I just couldn't imagine that man walking up to a tent and snatching out a child. But then the more it goes on, the more you think, nah, this guy had some ninja skills in him.
And I mean, it takes a special kind of person to hurt a child or to cover up the accidental hurting of a child. And I think that's the theory I kept hearing. And I just didn't think that they were those people. And people were saying to me that strangers don't randomly take children from tents. And I was saying, well, we used to say that strangers don't randomly attack young children in shopping centre toilets until it happened. You know, none of this stuff seems believable or possible until it happens, you know, and it happened for this poor family. And rather than create or enjoy, I suppose, the drama of blaming them or judging them, how about we wrap our arms around them and be good human beings and show them empathy? And I suppose that's how I felt and still feel.
It was such a bizarre and almost unbelievable situation that people were having trouble wrapping their heads around what could have possibly gone wrong. Jackson, one of the first things that you did when you were sent up to cover the story was you spent a night at the Blowholes. Can you describe what that was like and why did you want to spend a night out there? There was no one there by this point. Why did you want to spend a night out there?
Bailey Delaney and myself went up to help cover it, and it was an interesting one because we had about 7 hours notice. We had a 7 a.m. flight and we got straight up there, and within 12 hours of being there we were actually given the assignment to go out and spend a night at the Blowholes. So we got there on day 6, which meant that By 1:30 in the morning on our first night there, it was exactly 1 week since Cleo had disappeared. So 1:30, of course, is when she had her last interaction with Ellie and Jake. And we were asked to stake it out until 6:30 a.m, which, of course, is the time that Ellie woke up and discovered that Cleo was missing. It's a bustling, thriving holiday park in summer and in the middle of the day, and particularly on weekends. There was no one there that night. There was one car outside the caretaker's shack, but other than that, we were the only ones. We sat in our car. We decided to do sort of half-hour checks or reports. So we'd jump out of the car and we'd go for a bit of a wander and we'd record what we were feeling and experiencing. And the idea behind it was just, at that stage, we didn't know if Cleo had maybe wandered off or if she had been taken but had been taken by foot. So we just wanted to sort of experience and wrap our head around what the terrain and the conditions might have been like at that time. And I can tell you it was freezing cold. There were harsh winds coming in off the coast. It's an interesting coastline because right down in front of the park itself, or the caravan site, there's this quiet little lagoon which makes for quite an eerie atmosphere at night, but just beyond that is the ocean itself and big thundering swell, and that's essentially all you can hear. In the story we wrote for the Sunday Times, it was the soundtrack of just this heaving swell all night. It was windy. It's also really rocky. So, I mean, I've got a certain level of coordination, but without being able to see where you're going, it's quite even on the man-made tracks, it's still quite loose and you need to watch where you're going. So you can imagine how difficult that might have been for a 4-year-old girl as well. It certainly required careful footing. As far as light goes, our night was lighter than Cleo's night would have been because we had an almost full moon that night. So you had some way of seeing where you were going, and you also got the occasional beam from the lighthouse, which sits on the hill, which probably adds to the atmosphere of it all as well. So, yeah, exactly 7 days later, which was an interesting experience. The sun then came up at 5:45 and we got quite a beautiful sunrise, really. It was a slightly harrowing experience, but it made for a really good story to be able to, go in depth on if Cleo had wandered off or had been taken by foot, what that would have felt like.
Well, Ellie, when she's chatting to Tim in the interview, she describes that early morning when the sun has come up, when she realises that Cleo is gone. Let's have a little listen.
I never, ever thought for 1 second that child left that tent on her own. Ever.
No, they pretty much told us that was impossible because she was too small to reach the zipper.
Yep. And then when they got back, or supposedly when the zipper was opened, it was where she couldn't have reached it. But that was just like she wandered off in the middle of the night out of the tent. I don't think so. But it still gives me the creeps that this guy actually had the nerve to open up a tent and take out a child. It's actually mind-blowing.
What he lacks in conscience, he makes up for with nerve.
Crazy. All right.
I stayed on the phone to the police. We had to keep doing check-ins until they got there. And the whole time, you're trying to look through tears. I had other mums helping. Yeah, it was nothing that I would ever wish upon anyone.
Kristen, that moment when Ellie realises that her daughter is gone, you can imagine her just frantically looking around and thinking, okay, she's wandered off, she's just going to be behind a bush, she's just going to be behind a rock there. But as Jackson's saying, there would be this part of you that knows that the terrain makes that almost impossible.
Yeah, and Ellie said that she knew immediately. I don't know if she meant that Cleo had been taken, but she knew immediately that Cleo was gone. And she said that terrified feeling went through her straight away. And you can tell just from the timeline that police later released, Ellie did call the police within 20 minutes, of waking up and realising Cleo was gone. So it wasn't like they searched around for hours before alerting authorities. And as every parent knows who's lost their kid from even a minute at the supermarket or a playground or something, it's absolutely sickening, that feeling that goes through you. So one of those, just horrible feelings. You can't even imagine what it would be like for the hours and days to then pass.
Sandra, did you get out to the Blowholes?
Yeah, we did. Look, after we recorded that interview, we hosted the Flashpoint program out at the Blowhole. So we out there that I remember standing there. It was about 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we were standing pretty much where Cleo had been taken, because obviously by that time the police had left and you could get in there. And like you, I looked around and it was dark and it was eerie and it was really noisy. And so many people were saying at that time, how could they not have heard that zip open? Well, I can tell you that the sound of that thumping ocean and the wind, there's no shelter, it's exposed, it's loud, and there's no way a little girl willingly walks out of a tent like that. And I remember Tim and I looking down at the ground and at the tyre tracks. There's tyre tracks everywhere, going in all these different directions, hundreds of them. And I remember we were just looking at them thinking, wow, how are they ever going to find her?
Yeah, extraordinary. Jackson, on Tuesday afternoon, so we're now day 11, forensics returned to the family home, and this time they go inside the house. How long are they there for, and what can you see?
So they arrived just after midday, and they spent pretty well a little over 7 hours there. They were there until about 9:30 at night. You couldn't see an awful lot. You could see camera flashes inside, and of course the forensics, as they so often are, in their full Smurf suits with gloves and masks and the like. So they left with 2 bags. So that sort of added to the mystery of it all, I guess, because no one knew what might have been in those 2 bags. But they were obviously just doing an assessment at the Lingworth Street house. It was the second day they'd been there, and they were obviously almost sort of stock taking photos, I think, because the camera flashes were probably the big one.
And they were let in by Jake. This was the first time he'd been back to the family home, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So he came back. I wasn't there at this stage, but we've seen images and vision of him getting there and letting them in, really amicable with them, obviously, and then sort of gave them the thumbs up and headed off soon after and let them do their thing, which I think was a feature of the way that Ellie and Jake went about things, that they were 100% cooperative and gave them room to go into their house and do what they needed to do.
After 7 hours of searching yesterday, they left with bags containing what? We don't know.
Well, yet again, when this is all happening, police come out again and reiterate that this is standard procedure.
Cleo disappeared 52 kilometres away from the family home, so we asked police why they've been back here 3 times. The official response, her parents aren't targets, and this was just a routine part of the ongoing investigation.
In a vacuum of information, people are trying to draw their own conclusions. Sandra, were you hearing a lot of scuttlebutt while you were up there in town?
It's funny that not so much while I was up there in town, much more while I was in Perth, because the community of Carnarvon, I felt from what I was seeing, was rallying behind them. Everyone wanted to help. Everyone was hoping they might have had this little piece of information that might lead to something. So, yes, I heard the scuttlebutt, but it wasn't in Carnarvon, it was here in Perth.
Jackson, there were some other rumours swirling around town which police were also trying to hose down.
Yeah, there were. So there were also a couple of past incidents which were being chatted about as well. But of course, the police, they said that they were looking for any evidence of a stalker. And then by sort of Tuesday night, Wednesday, I think they had ruled that out. They said there were no evidence of that as well. So that part of their search had obviously been completed and they were comfortable that that was the case. But there also emerged a couple of stories of earlier incidents. So one was from a few months before, and that was at MonkieMar, so which is a few hundred k's north of Carnarvon, and that one happened at more of a, an established tourist park, a caravan park. A woman told us that her son's 8-year-old friend had been filmed by a man in the bathroom at the toilets and that the police had been called out to that. But I think the one that really grabbed me about this one was that the boy's father was right outside the toilet box. So just like in the Cleo instance where she was sort of snatched from right next to her parents, this one happened so close to parental supervision, which I think is one that grabbed me. And then through social media, we saw a post from back in July 2014 of a mother in a Carnarvon chat page who said a man had asked her daughter if she would get in the car and go for a drive. We only got a brief description from this social media post, but she said it was a male aged in his 40s with a beard and he was driving a small red car. So I think that was another one that sent a few shockwaves around the place because in the exact same spot and seemed such a similar circumstance now.
And was that reported at the time to police?
Yeah, we believe that one was reported. Police did attend that one and we don't know where it went from there, but they certainly attended the scene.
Deputy Police Commissioner Cole Blanche asked Carnarvon residents to check their abandoned sheds and other buildings. And, you know, I think that just showed how grave the situation was that he was asking people to do that. What was their reaction to that in town?
Holy cow, that place is not safe to go. Anyone who lives there is not allowed to go to the blowholes.
Yeah, you changed your mind fast about that one.
Like, I did not even hear about that before. Like, the kid at the bathroom and the father there, and then the guy pulling up asking a kid for a ride. Like, what?
There were talks about it early in the beginning, but it was so much before that I just didn't even consider it to be related.
That is insanity. And it's a popular place, too. Kaz, you're not allowed to go there. I don't want you to get kidnapped out of your tent. It is beautiful. And they have that one little camera that's probably at the caretaker's cabana. I think they call them beach shacks. Welcome back, Sherry. Yeah, I think they call them beach shacks. Oh, I would definitely go there, but I don't think I would bring my kid.
Never.
And I still want to know where the sleeping bag is. Maybe when, well, Kaz, maybe after we get up over this podcast, Kaz can tell us about what his hearing's coming up in like 2 days. He's going back to court as doll collector. I don't know if he's going to have to plea or she can come up and tell us, though. All right, let's see what they say. That is insane. They need to put more cameras, obviously. Or you need to get little cameras for your own little tent. If you're going to the blowholes, make sure you pack a camera that you can watch around the tent, a 360 camera at the campground.
Yeah, I think rave is a really good way to describe it. And that was the response. It was almost like an oh no sort of response. But people were also more than willing to do it. People at this stage were doing absolutely everything they can. And I think going and searching your abandoned sheds or a car left out in a paddock or whatever it might have been in each person's circumstance was almost putting your money where your mouth is. All the posters were out, the stickers were out. This was an opportunity for people to get out and help. And I didn't come across anyone who wasn't willing and able to do so.
Kristen, at this point, Prime Minister Scott Morrison reveals that the Australian Federal Police are now involved, but it's kind of cryptic. What did you learn about that?
This is all sort of shrouded in secrecy, but on October 26, which was 10 days after Cleo had vanished, the Prime Minister assured Cleo's family that the AFP was using secret technology and tactics to help find Cleo. This was during a 6PR radio interview, and he said that in terms of technology and tradecraft, the AFP had some very advanced capabilities, leading edge, not just here in Australia, but around the world. And he went on to say, as much as I'd love to reveal exactly what some of those are, and how they're being used, we can't talk about that on air. But the AFP are there, they've joined the process, and, you know, I'm very pleased to say that they're helping in every way they possibly can through their intelligence capabilities, their technology and their forensic abilities. Now, by the next day, 7 News was reporting that these technologies included a reconnaissance spy plane. I went to the AFP and I asked them what they were contributing to the search, and they referred me back to WA Police as a lead agency. WA Police told me that while the AFP were assisting in some capacity, they could not provide specifics for operational reasons. So all remained very top secret and no one would reveal exactly what the AFP was contributing to the investigation. There were some reports that the AFP might have been able to access crucial images from spy satellites that were passing above the Blowholes campsite on the morning of October 16 when Cleo vanished, and that if the right high-resolution satellites were above the campsite in the hours around when Cleo disappeared, authorities could have used the very advanced technology to retrospectively access and the make and model of a car. But while tons of satellites constantly passed over that area, the high resolution ones were not as frequent and they only passed over about twice a day. So that was some speculation. There was also a report that the AFP could secretly access people's devices and computers and online networks without a warrant.
That explains it. We were wondering how they could possibly have matched the license plate to the cell phone that was in the area. Because if he would have gone Carnarvon south of the Blowholes, and they said they only had that video camera at the north end where that intersection or something is.
Right.
Yep. So then now we're figuring out that they used spy planes. That's really kind of cool.
That is
I
really
wish we had some spy planes over here to help us find the West Boys and Summer. Michael Vaughn. Oh, let's just get back into this podcast. There's so many of them. But this little girl right here, the little miracle story, she is so cute. You think they'll let me adopt her?
Warrant, so they might have been assisting in that capacity. And if I can just jump forward briefly to after Cleo was found, Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews said that she was very confident that the AFP's involvement had made a difference to finding Cleo. So she said there's a wide range of advanced technologies the AFP uses, and they were there to support the WA police. The outcome of that has been the best possible outcome with finding little Cleo alive. So she was basically saying that the AFP's contribution had contributed to that outcome.
Statistically, criminologists are saying the chances at this stage of Cleo being alive are slim. But Kristen, there's a special name given to children who do turn up alive.
Yeah, that's right. Now, so John Flint at the West Australian had this very interesting story around this time where he talked to an expert in the UK about how children who are abducted but are found alive are known as black swan cases because they defy the odds and statistics. So basically, the criminologist told John that for a child to be held abducted and held captive for 18 days and then found alive is very much the exception and such an unusual case. It's ultra rare that children who are snatched are discovered alive. I mean, it's these sort of black swan cases. Famous ones include JC Lee Dugard, who you might remember was abducted in America and found alive many, many years later. She was snatched as an 11-year-old. There was also Elizabeth Smart, who was 14 when she was taken at knife point from her bedroom. Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus, they were only teenagers as well. They were kept in a basement in Cleveland by their captor, Ariel Castro.
Let's not forget, guys, about... Who are we forgetting about? She didn't mention the one name.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at the way she said America. I missed it.
America.
She said America.
She said Elizabeth Smart. She says J.C. Dugard. J.C. Dugard, what a story that was. I mean, she was kept in the backyard for over 20 years. And so her kids went to that dance. And then, okay, Polly class. Another one taken right out of her bedroom. All right, this podcast is almost, we don't have long, guys.
So these sorts of cases, they can definitely sustain the faith of the families of other abducted children like Madeleine McCann's parents who desperately cling to the hope of such a miracle. So given what we know about child abductions is that they're normally killed quickly. It's very extremely rare for them to be kept alive for 18 days and discovered alive. So that's what this black swan term refers to.
Yeah, and they're the sort of cases that attract global attention. And the search for Cleo, of course, is being reported in the big selling tabloids overseas. It's also being reported on networks such as CNN and the BBC. Laurence, can you tell us when you first heard about Cleo? Was it early or later on in the search?
It was fairly early on in the search. I think it probably was right after it happened because as soon as the story got prominence in Australia, I think it was picked up across the world because, small girl abducted from her tent. I think in the UK it had extra resonance, of course, because of the echoes of the Madeleine McCann disappearance, which was about 15 years ago now. And that was also a small child abducted from her sleeping quarters. And, the added dangers of the place where she was near the sea, the fear that she might have wandered off at first. It was very compelling and obviously, like any small child disappearing, the sort of thing that tugs at the heartstrings immediately.
And I guess for anyone who's never been into Australia's outback areas, I suppose that idea of the remoteness and the ruggedness of the terrain would also make it quite fascinating for people to understand and to think about.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I have to say, even though I'm an international journalist, I'm aware of the world, when I sort of focused a bit more on the area where she disappeared, you're constantly astounded by the emptiness, especially of that west coast of Australia.
Interesting stuff. Wait a second. I have never heard of Danielle Van Dam. Why have I have not heard of that name?
I've never heard of her either.
I have not heard of that name, Danielle Van Dam. Yeah, we could, we could sit here and we could make a list. I mean, Castro, what he did to those three girls, oh my gosh. A weak-minded fool. I mean, and to think that one of the girls that he took went to school with his kid. I mean, oh my gosh, that man was just a complete. I don't even know what the word is for that man. He's up there with Jeffrey Dahmer. What, Pamela? Oh, I'm not too young, Pamela. Believe me when I tell you, I am not too young.
Okay, so it looks like Danielle Van Dam, September 22nd, 94 to February 2002. American girl from Sabre Springs neighborhood, San Diego. Disappeared from her bedroom, February 2002. Body found February 27th.
I was 23. Oh, I'm kidding. I was 9. No, I was 23, Pamela, when that happened. Even though I'm only 45. Okay, I'm 49. Okay, I'm 50. Yeah, I'm old, Pamela. Starting to look like a dinosaur. Maybe an iguana. I think I need Botox. I'm kidding. Yeah, you'll see tonight because we will be on camera tonight with our meeting. But do we see we're the same age, Pamela? So do we continue with this? I think this is basically just the end. Do you guys want to continue listening to this? It just goes on, I think, to talk about her covering cases around the world. Botox. Hey, when we get that bus on the way out to the Letitia Stell trial, guys, we're just going to stop and get Botox too.
I hear those work great for migraines. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll just sit on the bus and hire some lady that works at a Botox shop. We'll pay her under the table. Hop on the bus. We all need Botox. Bring like 3,000 cc's. It's going to take a lot.
Oh my gosh.
I really think that we need to start really thinking about the fact that we should rent, and not even a van. Like maybe we should rent one of those, like I think it's called the Class C.
Oh no, guys! There are 2 corners across the street from my house right now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I noticed them outside the house last night with flashlights, and it freaked me out. And I was trying to get my husband's attention. He ignored me, so I just let it go. But now they're wearing gloves. There's 2 white vans, and they are probably getting ready to load a body in a second, and I'm not even ready for this.
Okay, wait, calm down. Go turn on your camera and go out the window and let us see.
Okay, hold on one second.
Okay, but be careful. Oh, guys, we might be witnessing a crime right now. Yes, Sylvia, I agree, but listen, Sylvia. Tonight we have a meeting in Facebook where we're going to start passing some laws.
Can you see?
Okay, yeah, we can see. We can see.
You see that little white van?
Yeah,
and then that blue white van?
Yeah, calm down over there, girl. Calm down. Can you zoom in?
I cannot because I can't turn my camera around for some reason. I'm sorry, there are trees in the way. I'm kind of doxing the hell out of myself.
Well, stop moving. We can see the white vehicle. What is the one to the bottom left?
So
wait, let me full screen her. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
My camera or my screen at all because the way I'm having to do the camera.
Wait. Let me get rid of this comment. Okay, you're shaking.
Yeah, I am shaking because I just realized it's a dead neighbor.
Okay, wait. Put your camera on something. Can you put it down?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like freaking out over here.
Yeah. Okay, so is it the white van that's backed in?
So that's one of them. And then
And
there's
there's
another one
I see
parked
the
up the edge.
hang
And
on, guys.
the one in the driveway is wearing gloves. And that's where they were last night when they were trying to get into the
Okay,
house.
wait 1 second. Let's see what's going on here. Don't be doxing where you live, though. Make
I'm
sure
not
nothing.
trying
Okay.
to, but oh my God,
But
I'm
just make
freaking out
sure
right now.
there's no like numbers to where you live or anything showing on that building.
Good Lord.
No, you're good.
It looks like there's 3 or 4 people in the vans. So
Okay, an old person died, and you got 2 minivans coming up to come get the with black gloves on.
Yep. Well, blue gloves. I don't know that she's really old. I know that she comes out almost every day. I didn't know anyone died.
I can't zoom in. Hang on 1 second.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to hijack the topic.
No. But I know that I can put one person on screen, but I don't know how to put. It's as big as I can get her.
Oh my goodness.
Unless I go down into the back room, but yeah, just keep it there. Well, we can just keep it there and we can still talk. You need like a camera stand.
Yeah,
So
I
do you
wasn't
think that
expecting
somebody So do you think that are these crime investigation people?
I mean, it doesn't look like it. It was really weird. So last night I was sitting outside and I noticed a car pulled up and they had a flashlight. They were trying to get in the house. They were shining it up at the windows. It was really weird because that never happened. They have family that comes over, but they just knock. The woman's really nice. But seeing this, and those vans are very particular. That emblem, I don't know if y'all can see through the trees. There's an emblem on the back of the van, and it's on both of them.
Yeah,
it's a hearse.
Yeah, well, obviously the lady died in the building.
Jesus. All right, guys. Today just took a real dark turn. They might see me on my camera. That might be why they're just sitting there kind of in the car.
Yeah, I think she just maybe is she older?
Not really old though. I mean, maybe early 50s. But she had COVID a couple of months ago. But I thought she was better, so my mind is blown right now, guys.
Yeah, she might have got the COVID back. Shredder, is your COVID gone? All right.
Good night. Oh
I thought when you started talking about it, I thought like you were talking about somebody who was actually committing a murder in like a white van and guys were getting ready to put the body in the back of the van. I was like, what?
I don't even know. Oh, now they're getting out of the van. Oh no.
They're getting out of the van?
Okay.
Who wants her to put the camera back on? Put a 1 in the chat.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Oh shoot.
Do we want to see it? Yep, here we go, guys.
All right, so you got one coroner getting out of the van. He's wearing a tux. He looks like the funeral guy. And then woman, she got out of the van too, and she walked over to the other, and now she's walking back to him. She's wearing gloves. They're getting ready to go in the house right now. He's opening up the back door of the van in the driveway.
Yes.
Guys, what am I doing right now? What is this?
It's okay. Somebody passed away. It's part of life. But hopefully, God forbid, it was something like a COVID and she wasn't murdered. I mean, maybe she's not even passed away. Maybe they're investigating a crime scene. But you said it's a hearse.
Oh, they're getting out the bed. Oh, they're getting the bed out right now. No.
Okay.
I'm not ready for this. Oh my God, I don't know what to do more.
You need to keep the thing on there because we're a crime community, and who wants to see
I've never
right
seen
now?
anyone besides family in a funeral home dead before. I'm not.
Okay, if I don't see ones, we're gonna take the camera off. Who wants to watch the deceased person come out of the building?
Oh my God, they've got the body bag.
Oh, I just saw a bird fly by. I think that's good luck.
Oh, this doesn't feel like good luck, Mar. Oh, they're opening the door for them. Oh God.
Well,
oh
no,
God.
it's not good luck because they're gonna take the lady out. Benton, hi, Brown's Mermaid. Benton wants you to walk outside. Hi, Rise Above.
Give me just a minute to get outside, okay? Oh God.
Yeah, go outside, girl. Be calm, though.
I don't know how to
Well,
get
hurry. Hurry so you don't miss it. Don't fall down the stairs. Oh, shit. Kaz, I'm going to send you a link because you need to come up, and I'm trying to debate if maybe we should make that phone call on the live.
Oh my goodness, guys. Y'all might hear my kids. I am sorry. I am discombobulated.
Okay, well, you need to calm down. Take a melatonin.
Well, I don't want to go to sleep.
Just go hang out in the bushes. Like scale the
All right.
neighbor's roof.
Right.
Guys, this is coming to you live. You will not see this anywhere else. She is outside. Oh, that's definitely a Hertz. Yeah, walk down there by the car. And she is so cute too. No, you got to go across the street, like kind of where Brian Enton would stand. Okay. Can you talk or no? Are you there? Can you talk? We need some.
Oh, can you not hear me? Okay.
Yeah, now we can.
I didn't realize I was on mute.
Okay.
Yeah,
we can't see anything. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to walk out to where the shade of the tree is down there.
The hard thing is I have to.
Oh, you have never mind. She's got babies inside.
StreamYard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're freezing. We might have had a better view inside. Right? Brian Enton was camped out on that neighbor's yard. You're frozen, girl. Come back. We're waiting for the live coverage, girl. You got to maybe go back out and come back in because you're frozen. Let me kick her out. Oh, she's moving. Here we go. Okay, you're moving. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want the family to see me standing in front of their house filming. That's.
Are you kidding me? This is the social media world.
Oh, Lord.
Well, no, I don't. I guess it would be rude. She's embarrassed to show her face, but she goes on cam.
I am. Kennedy, I need you to go back inside, like, urgently. This is not the time for
go take care of the baby. Well, go ahead. Go take care of the baby. Turn your camera off. Yeah, put the mute on.
My Lord.
Yeah, put the mute on. We don't want anyone to hear the babies. The corner of my neighborhood picks up in a sub. Oh, really? Hello, Araz above again.
This is like a little townhouse area, so I think there's maybe. That's actually a good question.
I should have fixed that. The meeting is tonight on that. Right now, it's tonight. Facebook group. December 1st, 10 p.m. Eastern. But I'll drop that link at the end of the live. Yeah, just get them back inside and then just go.
They're inside. I'm outside.
Okay. Well, we got it. Okay.
Finish your thing. I'm sorry, guys.
No. We're waiting. We're trying to watch the scene come out.
When they come out,
I gave Kaz the link. I think we're gonna have to make that phone call to the one that wants that Kaz needs to come up and talk about. Oh gosh. I'm telling you, we were talking after the live last night and we were digging into the owner of the penthouses and which ones were available and all this good stuff and connections to Jason Sugarman with that 40th floor. Then it was a connection with Heidi Plank's ex-real estate person that she worked with that might own that penthouse. And then out of nowhere, Kaz says, yeah, so we'll call tomorrow and I'll just go ahead and say that I'm Melissa Caddick. And I'm telling you, I was never expecting her to say that. And I could not breathe. Could I breathe? I was hyperventilating. Like
rolling.
It was so funny. And then she came with the fact that she wanted to put her foot up.
I'm somewhere to put my foot up in the evenings.
And then she wants to know the way the building faces and if we could get a virtual tour. And I'm her Los Angeles lawyer. You know what, guys? We'll record it for you and we'll play it for you, or we'll drop it in Discord. The conversation. And we're also setting up to get a virtual tour done. Do the phone call live. Okay. Where is Kaz? Did you fall asleep, Kaz? We're waiting for you to turn the camera on, girl. We want to see the scene.
You want to see again?
Oh, yeah, we're waiting.
Okay.
Of course we want to see it again.
So they're still inside.
Yeah, they won't be long to take her out. They probably investigated the scene
They
all
might
right.
be trying to just talk to the... I don't know if there's a husband. Somebody answered the door.
Okay, so you're saying that this poor woman is only like in her 50s?
Yeah, she's not old enough that she... I wouldn't have expected this. I have got a couple of neighbors that I keep my eye on because, you know, they're older. You expect something. This is not the area I've been keeping my eye on.
Okay, now do you walk are the dogs that you walk for your neighbor over there by where she lives?
I have to go behind the house to get to them, behind their house, but not in front of.
So you walk through that little pathway between the buildings?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a path on the opposite side of that van I could go on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And you're sure that's her townhouse?
Oh, here she comes. Oh, God. There you have her under a flag.
Okay, stop shaking. Stop moving. Stop moving.
Oh
Oh, my
under
God.
a flag.
Well, stop right there. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm shaking.
I mean, it's so small. I feel like I'm going to go out so we can see it big. Hang on. You're not going to hear me talk, but I'm going to leave the studio so she goes full screen. Wait, oh shit, where'd she go? Where are you?
There's some sort of nurse. The body is under a flag, so it must be a military. I'm not sure how much you can see. Sorry again for the shaking. I am freaking out.
That's sad.
This is more than I was prepared for this morning.
That's sad. Yeah, it's definitely someone who passed away, and the funeral home is coming to pick her up. It's probably the name of the funeral home, Benton, on the emblems. We were actually doing a live talking about Cleo and the fact that how loud it was at the Blowholes, and then Iconic's neighbor across the street passed away, and they're coming to take her out of the house.
Yeah, very crazy day. Sorry again for the shaking. I am shaking like a mother.
Yeah, Kara, we'll do that after, because if we Google the address, we can't put it on here because then we'll end up doxing her, and we're not going to do that. But I'm sure that Iconic will fill us in.
Yeah, I will. I'm about to talk to my other neighbors because they're friends.
Well, supposedly obviously something went on there last night, Shredder.
Yeah,
they were shining lights.
It was really weird. Like I asked my husband, what is this? He just kind of ignored me, so I blew it off. But they're going now, so. Oh, they're actually in my driveway. That's great. Woo. Hey.
Where did Kaz go? Hi, Nita. Yeah, that's sad. Iconic, I think, said earlier that she believes that she had COVID. You can say what you were talking about.
A couple of months ago, she said she had COVID, but it's been a while. I would have thought that would have not been an issue anymore, but it could have left some sort of long-lasting issues. That's really weird. I wasn't expecting them to pull them out in anything but the body bag to see the flag over the body already. That was new for me. That's the first. This is a first for me, guys.
Wait, you saw a flag?
They had a flag over the body bag.
Oh, see,
Like,
I'm blind. I could see something, but I couldn't really see what it was. Kaz, can you come up? Yeah, we'll probably have to do that phone call. I don't think we can do that phone call today. We have to actually prepare. And I think we're probably going to have to call him and set up a time for him to call us back. I don't think he's just going to answer the phone. We'll have to set up a phone meeting and then go live with the phone meeting with him.
yes,
But,
flag.
so, Kaz, can you tell us real quick what's the next step for the doll collector when he goes to court on December 4th?
Yeah, he will be.
You're low. Oh, there you are.
Hang on a minute. I'm just turning the volume up. How's that?
I hear you good.
Okay. I've got new Apple AirPods in. Just so you know, things I do for love.
Oh, you're so fancy, but look at how good your voice sounds now. It's not in and out. It's not. We'll let you know on Discord later.
Okay.
So tell us because we don't understand what happens, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see on video him go to court, right?
No, I very much doubt it because it's to do with the child.
Okay. So now, what is his next step when he goes to court? What are the next process that's going to go through? Does he have to plead guilty, not guilty? Like, what's the next thing?
Yeah, he would have had very much like a court-appointed attorney because he won't be able to afford a one of his own. He will go to court. He will have the option of being there himself or his lawyer. We call them lawyers over here. The lawyer will go in and do the plead on his behalf, whether he's pleading guilty or he's pleading innocence. If he pleads guilty, well, then he'll never have to actually go into court. Everything can be done. How can I put it? All through the lawyers. So we may never see him physically in there, but I doubt he will plead guilty for some reason. I think he will try he will plead innocent, not guilty, and it will go to trial. It will be interesting to see what his psychological evaluation has been like. It's very hard in Australia to win a case due to psychological issues unless you can prove it absolutely categorically that you are not of sound mind. So
I feel bad for him. Pamela, I've been a hospice nurse for veterans in their homes. I've never seen them drape a flag when they take them. Wow, that's a really nice special gesture. Yeah, I wonder what it means. I'm gonna see if I can figure out what that means. Maybe you can just walk over across the street and ask them what it means. Iconic.
Yeah, I could do that.
Say you've never seen that before. It was. I couldn't tell if it was a flag because I didn't have my eyeballs on. But I feel bad for this man. I don't know why. People can get mad at me, but I just feel bad for him.
I definitely believe that the way he was brought up and the circumstances of how he was brought up, the Aboriginal community are not brought up very well in the best of times, but as far as his mother totally didn't want him, which is not unusual, and it's sad to say this, but it's not. And then his grandmother, who's already lost her 6 children, decides to take on her grandson and bring him up, and then she brings him up the wrong way.
Yeah, she did. She was obsessed with him after losing the kids and getting him, and she babied him, and she brushed his hair, and she treated him like a little girl. Angel, I'm going to drop the link in here. It's in the right there. We need to drop the Facebook link.
If you want to search it, it's called Missing People from Across the Globe.
Hang on one second. Let me get it. So even if he doesn't go to court and we don't see him and the lawyers do it all, it's still going to be that he's going to plead not guilty or guilty.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. He has to enter a plea. Or he can, if he wishes, go to he doesn't enter any plea. If his lawyer wants more time to gather more information, and then the plea will be extended. But I very much doubt that, because they've had a decent amount of time, unless they're waiting for psychiatric evaluations.
Wait 1 second, Kaz. 1 second, Kaz. Sorry. Sherry, you want me to zoom in on the dog collector here? Him? Where do you want me to zoom in? Oh, you're behind. I can't zoom in on her video. Yeah, they were to hers. Iconic's neighbor passed away. I thought she wanted me to zoom in on the dog collector. And then they said he had a fake leg. He did not have a fake leg.
Oh, that was so funny. Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous. Okay, Kaz, I'm going to use the little girls' room, but I need you to we have to tell them what we did real quick, and then we're going to end it after that, because I got to get some things done before the Facebook meeting tonight. I dropped the Facebook link, right, to Facebook group. Yes. Okay.
Are you talking about Heidi?
No. Yes. So we're talking about how we were digging into the penthouses and the 48th floor and figuring out that one penthouse was available for rent for the $23,000. So I showed them the shot of that, and I think you can share your screen.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
If you want to share anything,
yeah,
the condo wise, but let's just have a look at my husband real quick. Oh, hello, hubby.
He's just got a major promotion.
Yeah, when I come out and visit you, I'm definitely gonna head out there and meet him.
Well, for all the awesome work that he did on Chloe's case, he's been taken up to pretty much the highest rank he can before you get into like the commissioner of police type scenario. So he got a very well deserved promotion.
Real quick, let me refresh Heidi Plank on Twitter. And it was 18 hours ago, and it's the exact thing. I'd take a long, hard look at Jason Sugarman. And we're not going to get into those details right now. No. But how many of you think it's weird that we went from this? 1 second. 1 second. And we went from this. What day did we hear this news? Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, we get this. Come on, stop being a meanie. Okay, we don't even need to play the sound. Okay, we get this, right? They're digging in a landfill. They're looking through the garbage methodically. It's on a grid. They're going to be out there. They said they were going to be there for 10 days. Okay, well, They were there on day 1. Day 2, I haven't heard shit, and this is day 3, and I haven't heard shit. So, and they're not hiding it. You cannot hide searching a landfill with the media and drones and everything today. It's impossible. So I asked this question: how come they're not out here searching the landfill the last 2 days? And I can only come to one conclusion.
Would it be that they've found something?
That's what Mar thinks.
Yeah, I do too. It's been too quiet, way too quiet. I mean, the media is not this quiet normally about a case, and they're super quiet.
Oh, Kim, I can show you proof of that. He followed the dog collector who I call, which is Terrence Kelly. He followed Cleo's mom. But this man had, I could show you right now, probably 10 to 12 different Facebook personalities to where he was portraying women. He was, two of them were him. This man has Facebook posts, Kim, where he was driving around with his Bratz doll saying that he used to like to brush their hair, drive around, and take selfies. Exactly what I'm thinking, Sassafras. I do not understand how it went so quiet, so busy in the landfill, and it was going to be 10 days. And then we can go listen to Wayne a little bit again. They got the dogs out there, they're searching, and then boom. Did they lie to us? It's going to take 10 days. And then we got this one.
Fill in some of the blanks.
Now, Plank's ex-husband said,
why don't you fill in some of the blanks? I have to totally agree that they found it. We have to remember too, they never mentioned finding the car. The car was found on October 4th, and we just found out the car was found 2 days ago.
Yeah, definitely LAPD are being very sneaky as far as what they're not saying.
Yeah, but the weird thing too, but how it connected, it's the robbery, the elite robbery and homicide division that is conducting the lead on the case. Now, they might have combined. I don't know the situation of that. But now let's tell the funny story before we try and make this.
All right. I do apologise, Ma, for what I put you through yesterday after the live, but I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
But before you even say that, tell them how I was incapacitated for a good 15 minutes.
Yes,
I was
everybody.
Choking. I thought I was dying. I couldn't talk. I could barely breathe. My face hurt. It was to the point that my ribs hurt so bad that it was like you were being tickled. I was never expecting that to come out of your mouth.
I know, and this is the devil, Kaz. This is my evil twin. Does this sometimes to me, and she just comes out of the blue, and she takes over my body, and she says things she shouldn't say. But I was just thinking.
I got one of them. I love her. I got one of them too. I'm like, hey girl, what's going on today? Okay, I'm gonna listen and mic down, but we need to figure out how we can make the call on the live. But I don't think he's gonna answer the phone right away. I think you're gonna have to leave a message somehow to call back or set up an appointment to have him on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
On a $23,000 a month condo, you have to probably set something up. All right, so tell the story and what we're going to do as far as contacting him and getting a virtual tour. We might even convince him to take us to the building on a cell phone. Okay.
You never know. Okay, so after the live, we were just chatting as we normally do, and we started doing a little bit more.
Wait, one more thing. If I don't come back for a couple of minutes, guys, it's because I'm laughing so hard that it might be a done deal again for me.
Sorry. And so very innocently, we were just talking and about what I'd found out about the penthouse and the sort of tie to Heidi. And then so we started digging, as we all do, and we found the real estate agent that actually looks after this particular penthouse. And we were saying, oh, we should call him. And I just, out of the blue, just said, okay, I'll ring and say I am Melissa Caddick. And well, that started Mar off, and then that's it. As soon as you give me the hint that you think it's funny, I'm going for it. So I just said that, yep, I'm going to say I'm looking for a holiday apartment in downtown LA because my son and my husband will be joining me over there. And I need to know if it's going to be fully furnished because I need to put my foot up because I had an injury with my foot. Well, then, of course, I started going very crass. It is. But I started saying, yes, I accidentally caught my foot in the garbage chute and I lost my foot. And then we all start laughing. And then I said, do you have the availability of having a stool or something at the bottom of the bed that I could rest my spare foot on? And it just kept going and going. And then before we know it, I'm laughing so hard, I think I'm going to have pee myself, and Mar's choking. She can't get a breath. And I just kept on with it. So then we really decided this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have my attorney, MonkieMar, represent me because I'm over in Australia and I can't get there right now, but I need a nice place to live while I'm over in LA. And I want to organise a virtual tour if I could, because I need to know that my bed faces the right way because I'm into feng shui. So, and then that is what we are going to do. So we decided we're going to do it, and I'm going to contact this gentleman, and I'm going to do it from Australia because they won't pick up anything funny with an Australian calling, or part English, part Australian. And we just have to work out the logistics of doing it now. And we are going to record it. We just got to keep
the bed has to face a certain way.
Well, it does, Ma.
Oh my God, I can't.
My foot needs.
But then what were you saying about how we were going to get into the trash compactor area again?
Yes, because I needed to know what kind of.
How do you honestly expect me to get through this phone call without honestly dying laughing? Iconic might have to take over.
I got you.
And then I said too at the very end, after you said, by the way, after we left the virtual tour, did I happen to leave my foot there?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. We love you, Melissa.
I'm a bad girl. But in saying that, there are more than one Melissa Caddicks in Australia.
So I think we need to somehow get this guy a phone call. And I mean, I can act like the lawyer and say that my client, Melissa, I can get that out, from Australia, wants to set up an appointment. And I'm not even going to mention that the 40th floor. I'm just going to mention that she's interested in the Hope building. And then when you come along, that's when you can, talk about maybe the penthouse being available.
Well, I will ask, is there any penthouses available? Because I need my space for,
Well, you need the feng shui setup.
And
and where are you going? And you have to have him show you. You have to say, I need to see the center of the condo because I know I need to see where my yellow piece is going for the feng shui.
Exactly. And do I need to?
And you want to see the wall where the windows aren't because you have to know which way your bed has to face.
Correct.
And how are you getting to the garbage compactor?
Exactly, because I'm disabled. I only have one good leg. My prosthesis hasn't come in yet. Don't get me started, Mel. I tell you.
No, Benson, no one's off. No, no one's gonna fake that. I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm allowed to be a lawyer. I got an online degree. $9.99. I can have it printed out. I can go to the dark web, Benson, and get me one. Don't worry about that.
Oh Lord.
No, I am Kaz's lawyer. I am going to call out of California on my California Google Voice number that I'm going to set up.
Exactly.
And then I am going to set up Linda Smith.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'd like to know where it is too, Linda, because it is very cold when you only have a bit of flesh hanging out of one leg, and my prosthesis foot hasn't arrived from the States yet. I want to know the same thing. Where is my foot? Who stole my foot? Give it back.
Oh gosh, I can't. Ah.
I think if you have her on StreamYard and just be very silent, I think it could trick the person on the phone that she was on the phone.
Oh, I know we could, but we have to set up an appointment with this guy. This guy is selling he's got a lot of places in that building for rent, and they're very expensive.
Very high end real estate agent.
Oh my god, that's what she said. She needed proper feng shui. Oh my gosh. That's literally what she said.
I know. That's shocking.
But now that Kaz can share her screen, we might be able to watch the full this. There's my girl.
That's your girl.
Melissa Caddick, con woman who defrauded people of more than $20 million. Then, late last year, she vanished. Now, a 7 News Spotlight investigation is lifting the lid on what really happened. Wife and con woman. Melissa Caddick is one of Australia's most notorious fraudsters. Under
That's my husband.
By ASIC for misappropriating
She's
investor funds.
fraudster.
She was last seen going for a run in Sydney in November 2020.
Melissa left her personal belongings, which included her mobile phone, wallet and keys.
Then in February, her foot was
There's
found
my foot.
400 kilometres from where her foot was
My
found.
lord.
There's my foot.
Kaz, there's the foot. We need to. Oh, I love Melissa Caddick. I'm telling you, I am convinced that she is living in Fiji with a prosthetic foot. I think her foot was cut off. It didn't add up. The foot should have been more decomposed, just like the cop said, unless they kept her on ice and then cut her foot off. I'm totally convinced that this woman's alive. And everyone knows I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just feel it strong with Melissa Caddick. But now that you... Yeah, that video is going to be over soon. But now that you can share your screen, maybe we can do a private StreamYards and drop the link in Discord, and we can watch the Melissa Caddick, this full interview right here. Okay, let's watch this.
I can do that for you.
Yay! Because I still can't get it. I try every day. You can ask Iconic.
By campers 400 kilometres from where she went missing.
DNA from the foot last night matched a DNA sample from Melissa Caddick's toothbrush.
Now a 7 News Spotlight investigation is revealing new details, hearing from her victims.
How much money did you give Sue Milton? Who is Melissa to you? My sister.
And Melissa's husband, Anthony
My
Coletti,
future
who speaks
husband,
out for the first
sea
time.
monkey
Melissa
grower.
Caddick was my wife. I can't keep silent any longer. It's time for the truth to come out.
Michael Usher investigates in Melissa Caddick, The Vanishing.
No one vanishes. I don't think it was an accident at all. Did you murder your wife?
And for more, we're joined by Michael Usher. Good morning.
Morning, yeah.
The
I love Melissa Caddick. She's my hero.
Ma, Sylvia said that she tried the Facebook link, but it says it may be down.
That's really weird. I was just on it. Let me see. I'll drop the link manually if I have to.
Okay, thanks, Okane.
Yeah, I dropped it to the actual group, but maybe I have to drop it just to the regular page. Because I think you have to be a member to be in the group. So once she goes in there, then she can join. Try this one. So we have to set up the call. So let me see. Let me open up my Google Voice and see if this man's going to answer. So I am your attorney.
Yes, you certainly are.
All right, you guys better not make me laugh.
I'm miking down. I'm not.
I mean, I'm just trying to get a tour of the building.
Exactly.
Don't worry, Anthony Coletti. When I come visit, I'll come see you. Okay. Do I have a California number set up? I think I do. Is 310 a California number? That's the area code I chose last night.
West Los Angeles.
It's a Los Angeles number. I did good.
Yoo-hoo.
Okay, so what number? Do we have the number I'm calling?
Who are you calling again? I'll get it for you.
Now, StreamYard's my mic. You see, what might happen is my mic might take over into this program. So you guys might not even hear anything.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do it live. I'm not sure. It depends on.
Well, we can do it live once he calls back.
Yeah.
Because I can put the Google Voice on my phone and then have my phone with the speaker open and then do it that way. But to leave him a message. But when we get off the live today, we'll set up. I'll call him and set up a time where he's going to call me back, and I'll make it like, it will be a perfect time, about 7 o'clock, 7:30 his time, and it will be our normal live time. And then I can put the speaker through the phone and we can listen to him. Just regular here.
Cara, we have both his work number and his cell number, so.
Yeah, and then we'll set up a time for him, and then we'll set it up to where you talk to him too.
Oh, absolutely. I want to know what I'm paying $23,000 a month for.
And you want a tour? Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Melissa Caddick. Oh, that's going to be great stuff.
I'm going to change my avatar just in case.
I'll send you a Melissa Caddick picture.
Oh, I've got lots.
Let me show you the one I think you should use, though.
Okay.
All right, guys. Let me see. Yeah, so that's what I think's going on with Heidi. I think it's just weird that they're not searching the last 2 days. Could be wrong, though.
Exactly, Linda. I need to know what style of shoe to wear because I'm very fashion conscious. I only go for Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton.
All right, hang on. I have so much on her. It might take me a second to find this picture.
Jimmy Choo shoes are what I wear, just for knocking around the house, basically. I'm so rich.
And that necklace that she left behind.
I know, darn it. I should have picked it up before I left. I knew there was something else I should have done.
Yeah, but maybe she left it to make her think because she was so into money and stuff that it would have been better if she left it.
Well, it was an extremely expensive necklace.
$100,000.
Yeah.
$100,000 necklace. And I can't find that picture. One sec, is this it? I made a cute picture of her. There it is. Hilarious. I think she might even look like this, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks,
I'm
Bob.
serious. That's how she could have gotten out of the house, like looking like a man.
Excuse me, I waxed. You know, I'm very proud of my looks. That's why I work out all the time.
But you don't think that she could have gotten out looking like a man?
Oh, absolutely, she could have. Absolutely. I mean, anybody, any female has an easier job of looking,
I did a
especially
good
with her
job.
face. You did. Because of her facial features, our Melissa could have quite easily slipped out as being a gentleman.
Yeah, she
It
was a
just
little
makes it more.
masculine.
Yeah, it just makes it more difficult, unfortunately, for a guy to do the reverse. But yeah.
Oh, Linda, need to see what the vibe is so you will know which style of shoe to put on the foot.
I
don't know why.
right?
I think she's alive. I don't know why I think that. That is hilarious. I made that so quick too. I'm like, this is what she probably looks like. A man. Ah. You know, I mean, but that they did show somebody jogging on that video, and that was kind of new to me. I've never seen that video. That could have been a past video because I could have sworn they said they did not see her that morning on surveillance camera.
Oh no, that was a reenactment.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would have missed that.
No, you didn't miss that for that. No, it was a reenactment.
All right. Did that Facebook link work? Okay, good. All right, guys, that's the Facebook link. And the meeting is in there for tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern.
I'll be there.
But I think that's it for this live. Now we wait for the next step, and you'll fill us in when the dog collector goes to court.
I certainly will.
And anything new on William? Or same thing?
No, unfortunately, nothing new as yet. Same thing. It's this week is coming. Sorry, early next week is when the parents either themselves go into the court or their solicitor does it on their behalf.
And they go ahead.
I very much doubt they will show up at the courthouse.
And they didn't say anything about the stuff they brought back to do the forensics on?
No, all they're saying is the forensic work is still being carried out. And again, they're putting a case together, so they're not going to release too much. But they did find fabric. They did find fibers that looked like it would come from a Spider-Man outfit. They were bagged because that was actually shown on a video. But the rest, they're just keeping very, as far as the foster parents' grandmother's car. That's a lot. Stop doing that, woman. Stop it. Stop making my face look so furry.
I mean, I think I have her parents. I have everything on this woman.
You sure do. Sorry, I'm glad everybody had a laugh. I mean, I felt sorry of what I did to Ma yesterday because I nearly choked beloved Ma to death.
Oh, the
Yesterday.
the phone call's gonna be good. As soon as we get off the live, I'm gonna call him and set up a time where he can make a time for me between like after 7:30, you know, p.m. in Los Angeles time.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time that I can, if I have to add my client to the call, it's the only time that works for her.
Exactly.
Oh, that's going to be fun. So hopefully we'll get him. Maybe we'll try to set it up for like, who knows? Maybe he'll want to call us tomorrow. You know, he wants to get that. If he's 23,000 a month, you know, he's getting a lump change in his. Tell them how much this man's company made.
Okay. The organisation that this gentleman, I won't say his name at the moment.
No, the Ani.
The Ani Group. Okay, the Ani Group, who actually built and developed the Hope and Flower building, only made 29.6 billion in sales.
Billion last year.
Yeah. Just a little bit of chump change.
Yeah, check him out, the Ani.
ONNI Group.
Yeah, and we should know the owner of the Penthouse before we speak to Mr. Wants to take your $23,000 a month. Imagine first class and security. So you only got to put down probably like $60K.
Oh, is that all? That's fine.
Ah, shit. That's chump change.
Canadian.
Oh, it's even better.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Iconic. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad I brought a few laughs to the live.
Oh, you did. Last night I thought I was going to die. Thank you to my great mods. Keep your baby safe, guys, and stay vigilant. We'll see you tonight, hopefully, at 10 p.m.
Yay.
Eastern in Facebook.
See you later.
See you guys tonight. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Melissa Caddick.